I think this needs to be said, and I really hope that I help somebody with this message, but let me get right to it. The devil does not give a crap that you know that the Hebrews are black or Negro or copper colored people. The Gentiles do not give a single flying crap that you know that the children of Israel, that the children of Shem, that the descendants of Abraham were dark-skinned Negro people, aka you. They don't care. They don't care that you know that. The Gentiles don't care. They know that as well. And they knew that after a certain period of time, there is nothing that they were going to be able to do, according to prophecy, that you were going to wake up in the land of your captivity. Baruch 2:30, go read that. The Psalms 83 Confederation, Lucifer, they all know that you are going to wake up, and without any shadow of a doubt, that spiritually, in your mind, in your soul, in your heart, that you were going to know who you were. Their job is to keep you at square one. Their job is to control the narrative of your awakening and make sure that your blessing never comes to fruition, that you never gain back your lands, that you never gain back your knowledge, that you never gain back your wealth, and that you never get connected back to your power. Recently, I heard somebody say something that struck my heart and I loved it, and I'm repeating it now. A lot of black people, a lot of Negroes, a lot of Hebrews are woke, but they're not getting out of bed. Do you get what I'm saying? Meaning, when you wake up in the morning, do you immediately get out of bed, jump up, brush your teeth, go outside, and get into action, go into the world? Or do you slowly roll over, check your phone, lay in your bed, still curled up in a ball under your covers, half awake, half asleep, half looking at your phone, half still in La La Land, still in dream world? When Neo woke up from the Matrix, did he get out of his sleeping pod and get up and look at the tiny room that he was in and say, wow, this must be it. I'm going to stay in this room forever. Look at these four walls. This is amazing. This is all I need. Did he wake up and stay in his sleeping pod with his eyes wide open, just looking back and forth and saying, this is all I want? Or did he get up, leave the room, find like-minded people, and inevitably take down the Matrix to the point where everybody around him was worried, was concerned when they saw him, rang the alarm, sounded the alarm, holy shit, he's awake, we need to throw in our plans into action to get him back asleep? Don't you find it funny that about 10 to 15 years ago, nobody gave a shit about Hebrew Israelites, quote unquote, as they like to call you guys, black Hebrew Israelites? Nobody gave a shit about you. They weren't concerned about you. You weren't on their radar. And now I'm seeing Asians, I'm seeing white people, I'm seeing people of all nations talking about you, trying to control the narrative about you. Things, something that they didn't even know existed, something that they didn't even believe existed. All of a sudden now, Gentiles are experts on what you believe. Something that they ignored every time you brought it up. Now they're all of a sudden experts, and now they're telling you what you believe and who you are. Isn't that a little strange? A lot of you so-called Hebrews are very scared, and you are stuck on square one, just like Lucifer wants you to. He knew you were going to wake up. He knew that you would inevitably, naturally, spiritually would know that you are the descendants of the children of Israel. You are the real people. You are the chosen people. He doesn't care. He is trying to keep you at square one. He's trying to keep you from getting your land back, your knowledge back, the full blessing back. That's what his goal is now. And he set up many organizations, which I'm going to get into, to keep you from advancing in the knowledge. He wants you to be stuck on, I'm black, so therefore I'm a Hebrew Israelite, and that's all I need to know to make it. That's where he's trying to keep you. And he set up organizations to keep you on square one. Let me explain how. I, as a Hebrew, once I woke up, my goal was to get out of the Christian church, to get out from being under a pastor, to get out from having somebody tell you what's okay to read, what's okay to believe, what's this, what's that, trying to scare me away from reading certain books and gaining more knowledge. That's all these churches are set up to do, and that's what a lot of Hebrew organizations camps are set up to do. When you look online, you see a lot of organizations that are set up to keep you at square one, at low level vibrations. They're obsessed with arguing with Gentiles on the street. Till this day, they're still debating with the same rabbis that they were 10 years ago, still giving them platforms, while other Hebrews have advanced to the point where they've said, I'm not even giving Gentiles a platform anymore. I don't even need to explain anything to them anymore. I'm so above and beyond that. But yet here you are, still arguing with the same Gentiles, still begging white people to kiss your boots on the street, still sharing that 12 tribes chart that has been ripped apart and shown to be completely inaccurate. Something's fishy. It's time for you to get out of bed. You have woken up, but you have not left your bed. As a Hebrew, it is time to leave square one. We are all ascending Jacob's ladder. There are some Hebrews who have almost reached the top, and there's you who can't get past the first 5 rungs of the ladder, but you're looking up and you're telling people who are almost near the top to stop climbing. Something's wrong. The Book of Mormon has been completely dismantled by certain Hebrews. It's been completely read, it's been completely broken down, and we now realized that these are just stolen Hebrew scriptures, that these people have just stolen more Hebrew scriptures, just like the Jews have done, stolen Hebrew scriptures and have whitewashed them and have claimed them as their own. They've ripped off the cover where your face was and they've planted their faces on it, and they've said these books are ours and these books have always been ours. And because they've said that, you've been terrified to look at certain books, to read certain things. And there's certain organizations that push that same nonsense. The Apocrypha has been brought out and been broken down. I know some Hebrews that won't even touch the Apocrypha. The sealed portion has been broken down. The testaments of the 12 patriarchs have been given to us and have been broken down, and we're now reading and understanding it. We're now realizing that Africa is not the only place that we came from. And now that we're realizing that the Americas, that places in Asia, that places in Australia, that places all over, which lands were actually Shem's. Shem's land are your land. Right now, Shem's land have been invaded by Gentiles, but you're still pushing the out of Africa theory that all Negroes come from Africa and Africa only. And you're so scared to look outside of Africa and claim all of your land back. That's a trick of Lucifer. That's a trick of the Gentiles, keeping you at square one. Right now, there are thousands of black Negro channels on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok that are giving unbelievable proof, reading book after book after book, reading documents after documents after documents, showing proof after proof after proof that Negroes existed in the Americas before Columbus, that they're native to the Americas, that they were practicing Hebrew, while you are terrified to even look into that. You are sitting there shaking and biting your nails saying, we can't do that. You're not allowed to. It's going to make white people angry. It's going to make these people angry if we talk about that we're Indians. If we talk about that we came from this land, it's going to make them upset. It's going to make them angry. There's no way that's true. There's no way that these Gentiles who have lied to us about everything have lied to us about that. Stop looking into that. Put that book down. Put that book down. What? Right now, there are brilliant Hebrew sisters and Hebrew brothers breaking down the celestial wonders, breaking down the stars, breaking down the sun and the moon and certain astronomical events, and learning how to read the stars, learning how to study the stars, just like your ancestors did. While there are certain Hebrew organizations stuck on square one telling you to stop doing that. The Christian church says that looking at the stars is bad and you're worshiping them. Don't do that. Don't do that. In reality, the Gentiles are absolutely terrified that not only that you know who the Hebrews are, but they don't want you looking up at the stars and reconnecting with your powers and being able to read them better than they can, which you should be able to. Again, you're being duped. You're being stuck on square one. Why haven't you learned about this? Where are you? You're still stuck on square one, talking about fringes and begging white people to kiss your boots. Something's wrong. We have already broken down how crystals and rocks and certain elements, we have learned the names of angels. We have learned about the 7 layers of the firmament and the angels of the firmament. We have learned the angels of the element, while you are being told on square one to not read certain books. Those same people that tell you not to read those books, that they're evil and that you need to stay away from them, have never actually read those books themselves. Something is wrong. The job of Lucifer and the Gentiles at this point are to keep you stuck at square one, to keep you stagnant, to keep you from not reading certain books, from keeping you from claiming certain lands, from knowing certain lands are yours. They're okay with the fact that you know that the Hebrews are black. They've known that, and most of these people that say they don't are just trolling you because they love the reaction they get from you when they say there's no such thing as a black Hebrew. And you get all gun-ho and you get all angry. They want to keep you in that low vibration. They want to keep you at square one. It's time for you to get the hell out of bed. It's time for you to wake up, roll out of bed, get downstairs, make yourself some coffee and breakfast, and get outside and smell the flowers and help us out. And stop being such a scaredy cat. Stop listening to people set up by Lucifer who want to keep you at the bottom rungs of Jacob's ladder, to keep you from missing blessing after blessing, knowledge after knowledge drop from the Most High. You see this right here? This is a needle. It's not your typical sewing needle. In fact, it's a dread needle. Came out from a tool, your dread needling tool that I own, but it's still a needle nonetheless. The truth, your history, is like a needle in a haystack. The biggest haystack ever. The hay is the lies that the Gentiles have buried your history in. The hay bale that you're digging through is nothing but lies and distractions that they've set up from keeping you from finding this needle. You know what those big things on farms are? Those big hay silos where they keep, there's really, really tall, round things, skinny, round things that they keep dozens and dozens and dozens of bales of hay in. The truth is like this needle being dropped somewhere in there. Multiple needles being dropped somewhere in there. The Holy Spirit is the ultimate magnet. How can you be a Hebrew and not be able to find this needle? If you're a Hebrew, you should by now be able to find this needle immediately. There are certain Hebrews who can walk up to that giant silo of hay, knock on it 3 times, bang on the side of it, and next thing they know, not hay falling out, the needles immediately fall out right to their feet, and they pick it up, look at it, thank you, Most High. They walk to the next bale of hay and are able to find every needle immediately. Why aren't you able to do this as a Hebrew? Why are you still stuck on square one? Why are you still stuck on the 66 books of the Bible? Why are you still scared to read the Apocrypha? Why are you still scared to look at the Book of Mormon? All because one little thing says black people's skin means they're cursed. They put that in there so you never read it, so you never get connected back to it. They put these things in these books to scare you away from it. They put titles like Jewish mysticism and put names of other religions on your ancient knowledge and ancient information. They call staring at the stars and learning astrology witchcraft, so you're scared to look at it. It's time to come out of that and realize you've been duped by Lucifer. You've been stuck on square one, and not only that, you've been stuck on square one and you've been proud. People who are near the top of Jacob's ladder, you're screaming at them to come back down. That's too high. You're going too high. I can't climb that high. How come I can't climb that high? You have to come back down to my level. Stop. You need to come up to our level. It's time for you to wake up fully and get out of bed. There's no such thing as a stagnant Hebrew. And I've noticed that some of these quote-unquote Hebrew organizations for decades have not moved anywhere and are still teaching the same old things. No new information, no new knowledge. The Most High said in the Apocrypha, in the book of, I believe, Second Esdras, that new books would come out at the end. That the Hebrews would, once they awakened, would start teaching the Bible in a way that the Gentiles have never seen that terrifies them. Is that not happening right now? That certain books would be delivered to them that were set aside just for this time, for them to open up and for them to read. Some of you have gotten those books. Others of you are scared to read those books and are keeping others from reading them, while you're concerned about arguing with rabbis online about the same thing over and over and over and over again. What stage are you on? What stage are you truly on in this walk? I hope this message has helped somebody, has awakened somebody to realize that you are on square one, that you need to get to square two, and that the Most High is literally begging you to move to square two. He's begging you to move up. He says, all right, you figured out that you were black. You figured out that the Hebrews were black. You figured out that you're the same color as the children of Israel. So what? I have so much more knowledge and information for you. I want you to figure out about this. I want you to get the powers back of this. I want you to figure out about the ley lines and how to reverse them. I want you to reverse them back to good. I want you to figure out about all these temples around the world and pyramids around the world, that some of them were yours and that they've built churches on top of them. I want you to figure out about the stars and the moons. I want you to be able to read them and see the stars and the signs that I've given you that you're being told is evil and that you shouldn't look at. So many things have come out. The Most High is working in such wonderful ways, and you're still stuck on square one, screaming at others to stay on square one with you. I can't do that. I hope this message helps somebody. All praises to the Most High. Let's wake up fully. Let's get out of bed and get out of the house.